In this video, we're going to go through a couple of different ways that you can use queries to help you as you are going through and using data between different catalogs. So in this case, I have estate planning area. I've got estate planning. I've got contacts. So let's just say I want to create a little database of all the contacts that I use. So maybe you have a Zapier connection that's populating this. Maybe you just have a list that you've imported of a whole bunch of names and you want to use this, pull from this list of contacts. What you do first, so the way I created this contacts list is I went to catalog and then I did add a new catalog, and I did it as a party. So I did add a new catalog, named it as contacts, selected party, and then came here. And so now party is a catalog object, and party can have apps on it. So I created a new app called contact info, and I just added full name, inline address to it. And I said it doesn't generate any documents. So it's just collecting information at this point. So if I go to contacts, I've now got John Doe and myself here, and I can click into it. I can add other information that I say is available. So now I want to, within my estate planning documents, I want to, instead of clicking entering information for the client, filling this out, I just want to now point to a contact and be able to find the contact and pull it in. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the designer, click query, and I'm going to call this party underscore query. I'm going to do a provider of Knackly, and the source will be contacts. And so now I get access to all the contacts, and I click save. So now I've basically created a way to get it. So I'm going to go to estate planning under client. Instead of it being a party, now I actually want to point to it. So I want it to be a selection variable. And I'm going to point it to party query. And I'm going to do it as a hybrid selection. This hybrid selection basically allows you to type in people. If you've got 1,000 names and contacts, and you want to, if you did a drop down or something, you have to go through and search through all of them, but hybrid allows you to type it. So click save, go back to estate planning, review and update. You'll see that some things have changed. Don Smith, I'm going to undo him, and you'll see now I can type Kim Mayberry and pull in the information. At this stage, I can see what's filled out. It does not let me edit because everything is being pulled from the contacts at this point. And then I can go through and do the same thing to the spouse and children and everyone that I want to. So that's one kind of use case for queries. So you have a list of contacts, or if I look at, I'll give you another example. So in this case, I have a list of landlords, so Knackly rents and first rents. I use queries. So when I go into my lease document, I can basically search first rents, and then I have a list of all my properties that I can pull from and select them. So I did the same thing here with landlords. If I were to go into landlords and Knackly rents, you'll see I have all my properties and some other information I need. So that's kind of one case for queries. Another one is what I would call scenarios. So let's just say that you want to go through and create some defaults. When you first come into a estate plan, you want to be able to default some things so that when you go in, you don't have to fill out everything. You can just select from a list of different scenarios that are available. So let me show you how to do that. So I'd go to the catalog, create a new catalog. I'm just going to call it scenarios. And since I'm going to be reselecting from the estate plan, I am actually going to use the estate plan one. And because this means that all the variables that I have in scenarios that I want to come in, and I go to designer, and then I want to create a new app called scenario. Scenario. I'm just going to call it builder. And I'm going to do blank. So if I click, so, oops, I didn't save. Sorry about that. That's a scenario builder. And then, all honesty, I can do a state. I'm going to copy this. I'll just put, so that I can have it as separate and do some different naming. So now I can say in my catalog, under a state plan, I can have scenario, but I don't want scenario. I don't want this idea of scenario in my catalog. I'm just going to go ahead and disable it. And I can go to scenarios, and I'm going to disable that one. So now under scenarios, I can create a new record. And let's say I'm just going to say include will. And that is all I'm going to select for right now. Is I just want to say I'm going to include will. I could go through and if I had other things in here, this is a super simple one. But if I had other questions that I wanted to do, I could go through and save it. And I'll just say complete. So new file. You can see new file. I could do, and I can do some, let's just, got file name. And I just try to decide. So I'll just do file name for right now. Well, we could do templates file name, file else. What I could, if client full name, here's what I'll do. I'm going to create a new, I'm going to call it text of scenario name. Under file name, I'm going to actually replace this with scenario name. Copy it. There. So if I don't have anything in full name, then it's gonna, you'll see if I come in here. As of right now, I did not put anything in the full name, which I wouldn't want to do, so I can call it 1. Scenario 1, include will and health POA. And click complete. Now I'm going to do a second one, and I'm just going to do will. Complete. So I got scenario 1 and 2 here. Okay. Last thing I need to do is, right now I don't really have a way to select this. So I don't, you know, if I come in and do a new one, I don't have a way to select it. What I can do is I can go to the designer, and under estate plan apps, and I've got to requery it. So I'm going to, so under apps, I don't have anything there. So I know I need to go through and create a new query. I'm just going to scenario underscore query, provider Knackly, and I'm going to do it against scenarios. So now what's going to happen is scenario query is going to go out here, look at scenarios, it'll pull in whatever information I need. Okay, then I go back to state plan, apps, and now I am just going to click on scenario code. I only want to select from because I want to be able to allow it to change my answers if I want. Then if I come back here into estate planning, create new record, you now say select from scenarios. I can select the will, and it brings in the ones that I selected for the will. If I went in and did another one, will only, that's going to just give me this selection. So this allows you to create some scenarios that can basically automatically bring defaults in so that you don't have to re-enter information all the time. Certainly when we've done this in other systems, you have to go through and program and do a whole bunch of set statements. As you can see, this was super easy to set up, and it becomes a really powerful way to have different column scenarios, but defaults that you can use for different people. So these are two great ways that you can use queries right now. More will be coming at a later time as well. Thanks.